Hey everyone, welcome to day 4 of our Halloween Spooktacular, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite Halloween horror movies, Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell. This movie, I've talked about this movie a couple of times before, most recently in my Wailing review. It's very reminiscent of Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell, actually, because The Wailing is also written in a Shakespearean 5-act structure. And I've talked about how I love it so much, and I do. This is one of my favorite horror movies I've ever seen. It is absolutely fantastic, and everything that it does extremely well. So let's talk about that a little bit. I know a lot of people don't like this movie particularly. I know a lot of people say that it's very frustrating, it's very generic, it's very boring, it's very stupid, and I disagree wholeheartedly with all of those statements. And here's why. For one, Sam Raimi is an excellent director. Everything that he does in this film is very well done. His camera work is all to help set up the mood of what he's trying to go for. All the camera work is very, very effective at what it's trying to do. He uses Dutch angles to accentuate a point. He uses push-ins and the force, which we saw in The Evil Dead at one point as well. And he knows how to balance tone very well throughout this whole movie. He loves doing horror and comedy, and he is very good at it. And that is one reason that it works so well for me, that he knows how to make a fun, constantly engaging movie out of just a simple story. And that is what this story could be called. Very simple, but it knows when it should explain things and when it should leave that up to the audience. And it does this in 2 scenes very early on. One scene at the very beginning of the film when we see a Latino family go to this medium or shaman or whatever, and she can't help them. And we see the child get dragged down to hell, and then the actual movie starts. And then the next scene, we see our main character in an office, in a banking type place, a bank, I guess, not a banking place, a bank. It's definitely called a bank. And we see very early on that she wants a assistant manager position there. That's been opened, and her and this guy named Stu are the only ones in the running for that position. So we know very early on what is going to happen to our main character if she fails with her task. She gets dragged down with the demons. And we know exactly what her motives are. She wants to be an assistant manager. She wants to move up. She wants to change her life. And that is why this movie keeps paced very well. Everything builds on top of each other. Every scene builds on top of each other. So we know exactly what our character's motive is and how she needs to go about reaching her goal. And she has to make these hard choices at her job. She has to make the difficult decisions, and suddenly in walks an older lady who needs an extension on her home mortgage, and she's already had 3, and she goes to her boss who says it's a hard decision. So we know immediately what she's going to do. She's going to deny it. That is just what she wants to do in order to reach her next step in life, to get to that assistant manager spot that she desperately wants. But we also have that feeling that she shouldn't do it, obviously, that she should give her the extension. And you can see it on our main character's face that she also wants to give this person an extension, that it's a part of her morals to do that. And she feels very guilty about giving or denying the extension like she does. And it's clear that her moral conflict is at the center of this movie. She goes below her standards. And for the rest of the movie, she is trying to get that back. She knows what she did was wrong. She knows that she is very guilty about it and that she shouldn't have done it in the first place, but she can never get that moment back because it's in the past, and you can't change the past. So she's constantly trying and working to become the person that she was before she was cursed, and she never does. And that is why I love this movie so much, is because it knows what it is. It knows that it's a horror movie. It knows that it's a campy movie, and it plays on that, and it's a lot of fun, and it is a very engaging movie. But it also knows that in order to get your audience completely engaged, it has to kind of have either characters that are well fleshed out and intriguing, or a center. And the center of this movie isn't like heart or a romance, it's morals and standards and where your standards should be. And that is what was incredibly compelling about this for me. And so many other horror movies don't exactly know what they are. And immediately you get disinterested because you don't care. But this movie, you genuinely do, because it's something so simple and it's something so human and relatable. And a lot of times in movies, we want our characters to have consequences mirrored to their actions. And in this movie, that is not the case. In this movie, our main character denies a home mortgage, which is something very routine, something very simple, and it happens all over the world every single day. Someone gets denied something, someone can't afford something, they don't have the bank or whatever doesn't have the thing they're looking for, and they go away upset or frustrated or unsatisfied. But the person that made that other person unsatisfied never gets cursed for it. They never have to endure demons because they denied a home mortgage. And that is why this movie is very sympathetic. That's why our main character is very sympathetic, is because she does something very routine, something that happens every day, all over the place. And she gets cursed for it. It's so good. And a lot of people use that as a negative for this movie, like there are consequences, or she got cursed for denying a home mortgage, that's stupid. But it makes sense in the context of the movie. This person is being denied their livelihood in a sense. Their home is going to be taken from them, and all of their possessions will be, their biggest possession, I should say, will be stripped from them. And it's going to completely change their life. So she has a bad reaction and curses the lady that does it to her. And in the context of the movie, it makes sense. Sure, it's frustrating, but it makes our main character sympathetic. And we know that she's sympathetic because of an unfair consequence to a routine action. So the whole movie is just perfect for me. It does almost everything exactly right. And to build on that, it's also unpredictable. Like I talked about earlier, the 5-act structure, how it constantly keeps things engaging. The movie is also very unpredictable because of that, and because Sam Raimi knows what you as an audience expect from a horror movie. And he does the opposite of that. And to top things all off, he knows that you expect jump scares in this movie, and he knows what makes you expect a jump scare. He knows that the slowly building violin music is prelude to a jump scare, or a very silent moment is suspenseful because you know a jump scare is coming. And he doesn't do that. Instead, he has his main character go into a shed, start cleaning stuff out, and then move a curtain, and then there's a jump scare there. No build-up, no tension, it's just there, and it's effective because you didn't see it coming. And you jump, and you hate that you did, but it's unpredictable, so you're okay with it. It's well crafted, and that is the best word to describe Drag Me to Hell. It's well crafted, and it is almost a perfect horror movie. So if you haven't seen this film, definitely check it out. It's a great Halloween movie. It's a lot of fun. It's PG-13, so you could get a whole group of friends together, check it out, have a lot of fun, get spooked, laugh a little bit as well. It's a great horror movie for almost everybody, so definitely check it out. I'd highly, highly recommend it. And go rent it or buy it or whatever you want to do. I don't really care. Just go watch it. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.